Charlie Alaji Continue, Mr. Unsubscribe to iGhana Network YouTube channel now. Make sure say kindly subscribe right now. And also don't forget to turn on the notification button. Say there be a drop of new content to be, and you will be the first person to for Unsa Ebeka video. Welcome back once again to iGhana Network. My name is Alaji Conte. Please, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe and also turn on the notification button. On this episode, we are going to talk about the history of music in Ghana. You know, from the Highlife to the Afrobeat, that's where Ghana has migrated from. You know, Ghana musical journey is a vibrant rhythm of culture. You know, resistance, joy, and evolution from the palm wine tunes echoing through coastal towns to the Afrobeat lightning up global stages. That's how Ghana music is. And you know, Ghanaian music has always been at the heart of West African sound. Yes, Ghanaian music has always been the heart of West African sound. So let's talk about Highlife. The Highlife is the birth of a sound. You know, from the 1900s to the 1970s, that's where the Highlife was born. You know, Highlife is the heartbeat of Ghanaian music heritage. It emerged in the early 20th century from the coastal towns, blending traditional Akan rhythms with the European brass band music and Caribbean influences. You know, in every characteristics, there is a key. You know, so when we talk about the key characteristics in the Highlife music, is the jazz that inspired horns. You know, the syncopated drum patterns and the lyrical storytelling in the local dialects like the Twi, the Fantis, the Airways. You know, there were pioneers of this Highlife genre. You know, the iconic pioneers were the E.T. Mensah, known as the king of Highlife. You know, we have Nana Ampedu, who blended folk tales with Highlife harmonies, and then the Amakye Dede and the Kwedu, who has kept the genre fresh into the 80s and the 90s. So you know, Highlife has become the soundtrack of independence. Yes, it has become the soundtrack of independence, playing at the political rallies and also social gatherings during Ghana's fight for self-rule in the 1950s. So let's talk about Hiplife. So from the Highlife, we migrated to Hiplife, and the Hiplife is the voice of a new generation. So back in the 1990s to the 2000s, that's where the Hiplife was born. As Ghana transitioned into the modern era, Hiplife was born, fusion Highlife melodies with hip-hop beat and the urban youth culture. You know, the originator for this Hiplife thing was Reggie Rockstone. You know, Reggie Rockstone is a Ghanaian rapper that brought hip-hop to Ghana in the local dialect, which is Twi, and coined it the term Hiplife. You know, when Reggie Rockstone introduced the Hiplife, there were notable artists that joined that trend. That was Obrafo, the likes of Tiny, the likes of Kwakesi, VIP. You know, VIP is now VVIP, Misbel. Though all those artists joined the train. You know, Hiplife was revolutionary. It gave Ghanaian youth bold voice, blending tradition with modernity and tackling issues from politics to relationships. Now, Afrobeats and the global sound. You know, 2010s till now. In the 2010s, Ghanaian artists began fusing Hiplife, Highlife, dancehall, and Western pop to create what is now part of the Afrobeat wave. Though Afrobeat is often associated with Nigeria, but Ghana is a major player with its own distinctive sound, rich in percussions, uplifting rhythms, and local language stars of the movement. You know, when we say the stars of the movement, we can mention Sarkodie. You know, Sarkodie is globally respected for his lyrical dexterity, and let's say Shatta Wale brought the dancehall fire to the Afrobeat scene. And also we can never mention Shatta Wale without mentioning Stonebwoy. You know, Stonebwoy is an international Afro dancehall ambassador, and the likes of King Promise, the likes of Kwesi Arthur, the likes of Jackie, the likes of Black Sherif, leading the new wave of Afrofusion. Afrobeat has taken Ghana to international stages. Yes, it has taken Ghana into the international stages with collaboration with artists like Beyonce, the likes of Stormzy and Burna Boy. Ghanaians believe in our music genre. So the future of Ghana music today, Ghanaian music is more genre fluid than ever, blending trap, Afro jazz, gospel, house, and alternative styles. Platforms like YouTube, the Audio Mark, TikTok have created a global exposure for young talent. From Accra to Amsterdam, and also from Kumasi or Sekrum to London, the rhythm of Ghana keeps moving, evolving, and influencing the world. Let me know your idea concerning the history of music in Ghana. If you haven't subscribed to iGhana Network, please kindly do so, and also turn on the notification button. My name is Alaji Conte, and I'm out.